Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of CVtv. We're live today from Coral View, and we're going to have some really good guests today. So before that, I want to say hello to everybody. I want to say hello to Connor. I want to say hello to Chaz, Joe, Wendy, our newest employee here at Coral View. How are you doing there, Wendy? Matt Greer, and everybody. Just want to say hello and thank you for joining us. We're going to have a fantastic show, and it's going to be a little bit different. If anything we do here at Coral View is we do it differently. We like to mix it up and not do shows just the same way. So we're gonna have a little fun with our three fantastic guests today. Now you guys know them because they're also known as the Collective. And they have a fantastic channel. They sit and they do Saturdays and they talk about things. And you have three different points of view emerging into one location and providing a wealth of information for everybody. If one person doesn't know the answer, the other one does, and it's just fantastic to see their chemistry every time you see a show. So we thought, why don't we bring them over to Coral View and ask them questions, have a little fun with them and ask them about the HYDROS product, because all three of them actually have the HYDROS control and they've been using it for a while. Again, I want to say hello to Will's Aquarium right here, Michael Schrader. Welcome back, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff, for joining us. Cindy Reyes, always good to see you. Battle OCR, that is fantastic. Thank you. And yes, you have this shirt. Well, we got a couple of giveaways in here, and you guys are gonna have a blast. If you like what you're seeing, or if you are regular of our show, please make sure you subscribe, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button or the little bell. We are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, so you get that notification that lets you know when our shows are live. And join us and have a little fun. So before we go into the shows, let me introduce the host. So we're gonna have Dee Manual. He is from New York. He's been in the hobby for 30 plus years, and he has saltwater and freshwater tanks, 11 of them. So this guy knows what he's talking about. He's been there for a while. He's seen a lot and has a wealth of information. Then we have Sean Beaver from Colorado. He's got 6 tanks, saltwater and freshwater, and has been in the hobby for 3 years. And then finally, we have Ryan Nash, and he's in Canada, our Canadian neighbor here, and he's got 2 tanks, saltwater and freshwater tank, and has been reefing for 16 years. So let's welcome them into the show and chat with them. Hey, Dee, how are you?
Sean? Hey, great to be on the show, Carlos.
That's great. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good. Pretty good, and yourself?
I'm doing well. It's different from what you guys are used to. You used to are the ones that are hosting and everything. So now you get to sit, relax, and just enjoy the show, right?
Sounds awesome. Yeah, it's awesome to be here.
Good. So before we get started here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a trivia show. Okay, we want to make things different here, and for our viewers that are familiar with NPR, we're doing something like wait, don't tell me. So what we're going to do is we are going to pair a viewer with one of our celebrity guests in here, and then they are going to be asked 3 questions. And if they answer 2 questions correctly, then the viewer that was paired with one of them wins a HYDROS shirt. Isn't that cool, guys?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So you guys, the pressure's on you guys. Otherwise, the viewers are going to take it out on you, man. You got to better get them right. So you are going to, as a viewer, you can enter. We're going to post the link on the website. Oh, right here, right on my producer, April, has posted the link. So you can go ahead and enter you're going to answer a few questions and then enter the contest, and you will automatically be entered to participate. During the show, we're going to draw names, and then the names are going to be paired with Sean, Dee, and Ryan. We're going to ask the questions. Now, you must be present to win, and the reason why is because if Sean, Dee, or Ryan don't know the answer, we want you to type in the answer and help them out. So I guess it's in your best interest to help them out, because otherwise, if they don't get the right answers, you don't win the shirt. So kind of like, so we're going to have a little fun with it. They're not too technical questions. So guys, it's not like it's not like we're testing for the bar exam. It's just, it's just easy questions and have a little fun with it. But, so you have, it's midway through the show. So the link is there. Please participate. Make sure that you go in and sign up in there, because we're not going to wait until the end of the show. We're going to wait a few minutes. I think it's going to be like 15, 20 minutes. And then we're going to go ahead and pick the winner, pick the partners, and then go from there. So make sure that you submit your name. Okay. So I want to go ahead and do a little bit of a plug. We're going to have, starting next week, we're going to have workshops, live workshops, and we're going to take HYDROS, simple HYDROS things that we are adding to the HYDROS device. So how to add a skimmer, how to add a clear, how to add a light. So to show you how simple it is to work with the HYDROS. So you don't have to have any background. You don't have to know any programming. We're going to show you how to do that easily, right? And I know that you guys have been having some experience with the HYDROS already, and we'll go and cover a little bit of what you've experienced. But before that, I gave everybody a light introductory of what you guys do or in what kind of experience you have, but let's elaborate on that. So Dee, come on, 11 tanks? Are you single?
No, I may be single at the rate I'm going. But I mean, the draw of having tanks is you always see one more thing that you can't put in the existing tank, so you need another tank.
That is fantastic. And now, have you had, what's the oldest, I mean, it's 11 years. Have you had a tank for 11 years, or has it been an evolution and then kind of come and go? What?
My oldest tank is the 125. I moved it from my apartment in 2002. 2002, I moved it, and it's been up and running. It's been up and down. It's running now still, 2020. So 20 plus years. Every day I say a prayer for that tank.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. How about you, Sean? What's the story here?
So I'm kind of the fledgling out of the three of us here. I've had tanks for 3 years now, been constantly upgrading and learning and doing a whole bunch of stuff. As a matter of fact, actually, one of those pictures that came through is my current office tank, where I've got some problems going on with it, which shows, still dealing with new tanks. But I wanted that one in there, actually, in particular, because a lot of people see all the good stuff that we do. And I wanted people to see, sometimes they look a little rough.
You know what? I agree with you. I mean, everybody strives for something, but the reality is that, it's like you might get a tank that might look good for a few months, and then something happens, and then it doesn't look so good, and it's never going to be perfect. It's always an up and down, isn't it? I mean, everybody's experienced that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I don't care if you've been in the hobby for 30 years. I mean, Dee, I'm sure you've had some issues happen that it just things happen. Like it says, things happen, right?
Oh, certainly. I mean, and you never see it coming, no matter how much you prepare. You never see it coming.
All right. Ryan, how about you, man? Now, you are a DIY guy. I mean, you the stuff that you do is just amazing. I know first time I saw you on a video, I just happened to land on the part where you said, I like things clean. I don't like things hanging all over the place. And man, it is true. Everything I've seen from you, it's clean and it's slick and it's just, damn.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm really hooked on the wire management, trying to hide everything as much as possible. So it gives you that beautiful, clean look. When people see it, it looks like a piece of art. That's what I always have tried to do. Even with the Wolverine, like when you guys seen, I built my new cabinet for the HYDROS 4. I pretty much hit every wire as possible. I know the sump, you guys seen the picture there, but I just had things laid out and that part isn't done yet and installed. But I tried to hide everything as possible and make sure it's functional, that it's still easy to access. But it's all about, right? Our tanks, we take our pride in it, and you want it to really look and stand out.
Now, let me ask you a question, because I asked this to everybody that has a clean tank. It's like, what happens if I remove that cover and I look on the back? Is it still clean and tight, or is it just a big, I mean, it's just a question. Everybody looks at that, but it's like, how is it in the back?
Yeah, I hear you. So with my my 600-gallon tank, everything is in Panduit. It's for a wire raceway, so everything is laid in there nice and clean. So if I ever need to change out anything like a cable that's not working or a probe or anything, I can pull that out. And with the HYDROS 4 controller, there's just a trap door in there. All the wires are they're zip tied nicely in case I need to access it to fix anything, like a heater goes or a probe or I just need to add like a new component to the HYDROS 4. I can just go through the back, up through the holes, plug it in, and it's done. So it's accessible and it's clean to use.
Damn, that's just crazy. I try to do that, like wire management, but then it's like if you zip tie them and then trying to change a sensor or something, then you have to clip all the zip ties, untake them out, and put them back in. Then it's like, oh my god, that seems like a lot of work for me.
True, but I shouldn't say zip ties, but I use the like the controls Velcro. Like the two-sided Velcro. It's easier to take off and put back on, so you're not cutting.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe next time we'll have you, show us how to do that, like a little workshop on how to, because I know a lot of people want it, but many people don't know exactly how to start. And I mean, obviously, you don't have to have. I mean, I think you all agree. You don't have to have this incredible cabinet with thing. If you could just have everything on the side and just nice cable, it makes a world of difference, doesn't it? So it could be anybody could do it at home, and it doesn't have to be fancy. Like, I mean, obviously we would love to have it like you, but the reality is not all of us are as talented as you are.
Yes, true. Plus myself, I have an electrical background as well, so I do it for a living, so it makes it a lot easier.
Cheater.
Plus, when it comes to controls, I get obsessed in building stuff and just trying to make it look good.
Yeah.
My wire management is trying not to hang myself with the wires. Going under the tank with all those wires.
Yeah, your wire management is like as long as there's a drip loop, we're okay. Now, I know. So Ryan, you're an electrician by trade, correct?
Yep.
If I assume. What about you, Dee? What is it that you do? I mean, we talk about this, and I know you've been been doing some amazing stuff, and making sure that people are safe. What is it that you do, Dee?
Well, I work in law enforcement in New York City schools here. Currently, we're doing all vaccinations and trying to keep the public safe right now. It's been busy.
Busy. Thank you for what you're doing, man. Thank you for what you're doing. That's awesome. What about you, Sean?
Ooh, I get the boring desk job here. Actually, I work for an amazing company. I work for the Armed Forces Benefits Network. And what we do is we do qualifying retirement plans and life insurance for service members and their families. So just helping make sure that they're taken care of when the military drops the ball.
Okay. That's still amazing. Thank you for what you're doing, because I mean, it's like we've heard some stories, and it's nice to have other entities out there that are there watching out for everybody. That's awesome.
I mean, being a disabled vet myself, I went through all of that stuff. So I learned what it was like. And when I found out about this company and the mission that they stand for, it really resonated home. And I've been lucky enough to help hundreds of people get squared away right.
All right. So we have. I just heard from our producers that there is an issue with YouTube. We don't know what's going on with YouTube, that it's not showing the video. But if you can hear us on YouTube and you're having issues watching us, just head over to Facebook. Yeah, I know some people don't like Facebook, but sometimes it's nice to have a backup. So what you can do also is you could try closing out and coming back in, or clear your cache and then see if you can get back in there. Otherwise, like I said, Facebook is available. We do see some people in here where it says that YouTube is working, so we should be fine. And there's another one that says that there are 2 videos running on YouTube, so hopefully you'll have the correct video. So we apologize for the inconvenience on this one. Again, if you like the show and you like the technical difficulties that we're having, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button, because we like to have you back, and so you can see us have more technical difficulties.
Yeah, now I can see you guys. I couldn't see you guys the whole time.
Oh, really?
Really, yeah.
Hey, real life situation.
Yeah,
real life.
that's why
Like
I left and came back.
Yeah, exactly. So before we move on to the to ask the question, so again, we're having a trivia question show. So the link was posted on our chat. It's also posted on the video. I'm gonna ask my producer to do that. So you have a few more minutes to sign up, and then you will be drawn into being paired with one of our guests here, and then you could win a HYDROS shirt with a nice logo here, which is an awesome shirt. We love it. It's like, it actually looks kind of cool. Looks cool. So before we jump into this, guys, so I know that you guys have the HYDROS control.
Yes.
All of you.
Yes, we do.
So let's. When was the first time you heard about the HYDROS control? How did you find out about it? You know?
Well, myself from Sean.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ryan. Mine's a little long-winded.
Yeah. Well, myself. Well, me and Sean, we talk all the time, and then he sent me a link. He's like, "You got to check out this new controller that just came out." I'm like, "All right, sweet," because I love all this automation stuff, and then I really been looking into it, and Sean really. What we discussed so much about, he had me sold on it to want to test it and try it out, even for my viewers, because it's beneficial for everyone out in the reefing world that we have lots of choices to pick from. So I'm happy I have it. I've been testing it. It's been great. So thanks, Sean, for introducing me into it.
No worries.
That's awesome.
And then these guys kind of pulled me into the loop because I'm the always on the fence guy.
Yep.
Like I always overanalyze everything for contingency and all of this stuff. And after weighing it in, it's really simple to use. You get it set up and running. And since I have so many tanks,
right.
It was really a solution that hadn't been available before now.
It's awesome.
To handle multiple tanks.
Yeah. What about you, Sean?
So I actually found out about it when I started researching automation, because I was like, which way do I want to go? There's so many options, so many different ways. And then I was like, I wonder if there's something that actually tests like NO3 and PO4 and all of that. And that dropped me into let's check out, the Alcatronic, and then there was rumors of the Mastertronic and stuff. So that really got me diving into it. And then I came across a video that you did about the ABEX and the Zepta, and there was stuff in there talking about the controls, and it just was one heck of a rabbit hole.
which is pretty much everybody's experience trying to find something online.
Yep,
isn't it?
True.
It's like you end up. I started looking for something, and then by the time I was done, I ended up finding something else and purchased it that I wasn't even looking for at the beginning.
Yep.
That's how it works. That's amazing. So so I take it, how long have you had the control, just so that we are clear and everybody with our guests, how long have you been using it for?
Let's see, I'm about 2.5 months now.
Okay. Roughly. What about you, Ryan?
I'm about a month in now.
And you, Dee?
And I'm a few weeks in. I'm the baby.
You're the baby. Okay, cool. And then are you running them on your main tank, or are you running them on a separate tank? There's no right or wrong answer. At the end of the day, we want you to feel comfortable. So if if you got to earn its trust first, if you have it in a tub, that's fine too. It's, at the end of the day, we're not forcing you.
I installed mine on my new freshwater tank build, the 420 gallon. So so it's exciting to put, a controller on a freshwater tank and have that automation, right? So it's exciting to try on there. Something different.
That's cool.
Yep.
And I'm running it on 2 saltwater tanks and 1 freshwater tank. So I'm looking into the away from home solution to eventually run a whole fish room on a controller that I, go away and not have a heart attack that I'm not home.
That's right. What about you, Sean?
So I travel an awful lot. So my first priority was my office tank. I've got it on that, so I've got remote access to it when I'm in other parts of the world or the country, and I've got it on my home tank as well.
Cool. That's excellent. All right, guys. So we are doing a last call to go into our cview.us link so you can sign up and be part of the contest. Again, you sign up, and then we're going to pick names, and you're going to be paired with one of our guests, and one of our guests are going to be able to answer 3 questions. If they get 2 questions out of the 3, you as the viewer paired with our guest will win one of the shirts. So no pressure, guys. No pressure at all. No pressure.
That's a lot of pressure. I've been saying I need one of those shirts for months now.
Right?
I feel like I'm prepping for Regions.
I know. Holy smokes! On the spot.
All right. So here are a few more questions about the HYDROS, guys. Since you all have it and you've had it for a little while, what was going through your mind when you were first setting up the HYDROS? I mean, what were your expectations before you even tried it? You know, were you trying for something? Were you looking at something complicated? Did you buy it or did you get it because it was no coding, or what were your expectations before you got it?
Well, for me personally, the big thing was the no coding. I don't have time to sit down and learn how to do that stuff and watch all the videos and everything. So that was the first thing that drove me to it. But the big thing is I get really tied up with work and life and end up having a really bad case of Lars every once in a while. So with that, I needed something that I trusted that was going to monitor all my stuff and let me know if there was a problem. Like, I have a really bad habit of not filling up my ATO, and having a nice little alarm that'll wake me up in the middle of the night saying, hey, you messed up again, really, really helps.
That's cool. What about you, Ryan?
I was looking how easy it was to be able to set up. I've branded a lot of different controllers out there, and a lot of people, like a lot of my followers that we always talk when I talk to them, they're asking me what's the easiest one to set up and how functional is it going to be, how responsive is it going to be when you turn your lights on, does it turn on right away or is there a lag? And I can say with the new controller, it's very responsive, and plus it was like, how easy was it going to be to install? You know what I mean? And what I like about it as well is the components are all plug and play. You put them in, you hit the switches on the app, and then you're ready to go. So it's a very easy controller to set up, and I think that's what's going to be benefit a lot of reefers out there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. What about you, Dee?
Yeah, my main priority was ease of setup, because we can run out of patience. There's so many times you go on the forums and people just run out of patience, and wireless capability, because I have tanks on one side of the room, I have a tank on the opposite side of the room, and they have completely different, guidelines and requirements. So I wanted to make sure that I could communicate with all of them and see what I can kick its tires, make sure that it's, doing the right thing.
Okay, I'm glad to hear the preconceptions. Go ahead, Ryan.
One other thing I like it too is just the power strips. You can put them anywhere in your house pretty much. Mm-hmm. And they're running on the Wi-Fi. Yeah, we don't have to run any other cables. So, if my son has his tank set over in the other room, I can put the strip under there, and we can control his tank right off the same app. You know what I mean? So that's very beneficial.
That's very convenient.
That's great. Yeah. That's great. Now, let's go back to the app. How easy was the app to set up? Did you guys have a hard time setting it up? How long did it take you to set up the whole thing? I mean, I know Dee, you had a little bit of a. you look at Sean right there. Dee, you had a little bit of an issue with the Wi-Fi, but it turns out that it was, for what you told me, it turns out that it wasn't the control. It was a router.
And the funny thing is, I was so mad because I set up the program back before Thanksgiving so that I could see how easy it was to use the program. I always test the app before I look at the hardware to see what I'm going to get into and setting it up. And then it turns out my cable company is doing all these changes behind the scenes, and the things were going crazy. But when it came online, it came right online, and everything literally synced like really quick. And yeah, that was a beautiful thing, because as we get old, we get ornery.
Yeah, I know. So you guys, it was pretty quick to set up the controller and configure it and everything. How intuitive was it? I mean, once you got going, was it pretty easy to set up, and or did you have to ask Sean? It's like, hey, how do I do this, man?
Well, I talked to Sean so much, I think it's like, it was already having the instruction booklet right there. It was easy. We plugged it in, turned the app on, went through all the steps that it even shows you on the screen, like how to, get your power strips working. As long as you follow all those steps, you shouldn't have a problem at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
just follow the instructions.
And building on that, to tag on to what Ryan says, I gotta say the packaging is really nice.
Yeah,
because 90% of us don't read a book. We don't look. We don't know where the manual is. But from the minute you get the packaging, it had a breakdown of everything that you were going to run into. You scan the barcode, and it took you right into the application. So I was like, wow, everybody should learn from this. Like really.
And that's one thing that we spent a lot of time in back and forth. Do we add a PDF file? Do we add a printout manual? And the honest truth, guys, is that first of all, it's like, big percentage of a big percentage, and I'm not sure what the percentage is, but the big percentage of the hobby members of this hobby are male. Right. And let's be honest, guys, most of guys do not read instructions. Right. Nope. So what happens to the paper? And it's thrown away, and it goes into it goes into a landfill because some of us recycle, some of us don't. Yep. Also on top of that, if the instructions change because we added new features, then this version doesn't work anymore. So that's the reason why we wanted to do it on the website, so that we can continually tweak the instructions, add little things that make it clearer, yep. So that the next person that has an issue doesn't find that issue anymore. So it's a dynamic instructional website, and it's just for that reason, Yep. Otherwise, you just keep printing version 1, version 2, version 3, and it's like you can't keep track. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Hey, can I add the boxes just plain pretty?
Yes.
Yeah, it is pretty nice.
Jeremy, our graphic designer, did that one, and he spent a lot of time trying to get it right, so it doesn't look too crowded, but it looks good. It's got the information, but it doesn't look. There you go, D. Thank you. Yep. It's got the information, but it's not overwhelming. So it's very easy to make something. It's very easy to put everything in a box. Yeah. It's very hard to make something simple.
And it's cool that it shows like all the components that you can plug into it.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah. Yes. So all right. So we have the trivia is going to start. That means it's closed. No more entries we're going to have in here. So it's closed. So now we're going to assign people to that. So our first guest that is going to be our first viewer that is going to be paired with Dee Manual. We're gonna go with you right now. And your partner is Dan Swenson. So Dan Swenson, if you are here, please say hello. You have to say hello, otherwise we will move on to the next person because Dee is probably going to need some help.
I'm going to need help, man.
So Dan Swenson, you have. I'm going to give you about a minute or two to come up and say hello. Otherwise, we will move on to the next person. All right. So, now during the setup, and I've heard this, that some advanced users are having a little bit of a trepidation when it comes to our controller, because they think that the presets that we've created to make it easier doesn't allow people to make more advanced settings. I mean, and this is more for Sean, because I know, Sean, you're the more technical of the three of us, of the three here. So what do you think about it? What was that a fear that you had? And what happened?
So there definitely was a bit of a fear there with the no coding stuff. The more I dug into it, the more I looked into how there are more companies, well, not necessarily companies, but individuals that are out there that are actually putting together breakout boxes, and the fact that the Facebook group actually has a lot of really good support there. It eased a lot of those worries. I mean, it's really simple now when you actually look at it and understand how it works. It just takes a little research.
Right. And our support group might be small, but that's because it's so freaking easy to use.
Exactly.
I don't need to have 3,000, 11,000 people in a forum, trying to teach me how to code. So, that's why it's simple. And you know what? Sometimes when it's a small group, you get better help, and you get more, help from everybody else. Yeah, one-on-one time instead of 11,000 people answering, and then you have to filter out of the 11,000 who actually knows what they're doing and who is just, repeating. Exactly. So, all right, Dee. So Dan Swenson is here. Awesome. So here we go, guys. Dee, first question, and you have to get two out of these questions. Okay. Can you name 3 presets on the HYDROS app, since we were just talking about the presets? So when you go into add outputs and then you select the output type, there is a list of all the presets that make it easier for you to add a device. Can you give me 3 of those?
Well, I definitely know a preset was the temperature, because that was the first thing I got an alarm on.
Okay, good. Temperature. So we got 1. All right, good.
The second was the pH, Because that one I got an alarm on.
Okay. Now we're talking about output. So we're talking about those. You're talking about inputs right now.
Input. Okay,
Yeah.
so
So
the
let's
outputs.
the outputs.
Ooh, let me see the presets of the outputs.
Now you
Hmm.
can always hit up hit up your partner here, Dan Swenson, and help. Or you know what, we can open up for everybody else. Does anybody else do you want to help D here answer the questions? All right. So how about I'll give you a hint. You know, it's equipment that you use all the time. There you go. Dan Swenson just gave you something in here. ATO.
ATO.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay, so we got one. Let's see if we can get another one. There you go. There's more. There, see, people are starting to help you out in here. What do we have? LEDs. That's awesome.
I
That's
did get
awesome.
the LEDs.
And then one more. Come on, one more. I know you won it, but I still want you to say it.
The output.
Yeah, you have. Think of equipment. You know what?
Yeah, I have it right here.
Yeah. Think of what is basic equipment you have on your tank?
I have the ATO. Oh, no, I didn't hook up the ATO yet. I have the LEDs hooked up.
Mm-hmm.
I have the alarm for CO2, but I haven't set it up yet. And there's a water change feature. Oh, feeding mode is also on there. That's not considered an output. That is a routine, no a mode.
Yeah. So we have several here. You got you have Jeff, Bernadette, Robert, Cindy,
holy
Mark,
mackerel. Heater.
Heater. There
The
you
heater.
go.
Thanks for helping an old man.
All right. So Dan Swenson, you've just won a HYDROS shirt here. So our producer, April, is going to contact you, and then we'll get the information. And here's the screenshot. So we have heaters, LED lights, fluorescent lights, metal halide lights, variable light, return pump, ATO feeder, clear, chiller, calcium reactor, clear calc reactor, protein skimmer, ozone reactor, constant, generic, and combiner. Those are all the presets available. And that is a list that keeps on growing. So as equipment gets added, you know, with different criteria, what we do is we create this preset that is kind of like a form. And all it does is it asks you the right questions for you to create this preset without having to do any programming at all. So it ties your pump, it ties your sensors, and many things. So it makes it easier to do instead of having to write code. You know, if pump off, then off. I mean, it's like, who the hell remembers that? Right. So we try to make it as simple as possible, you know.
I'll tell you, your system was the best as far as calibration. That was the easiest calibration of pH that ever did. You just put the sensor in there. It says, okay, 100%, boom, done. It didn't take me not even 5 minutes.
You know, and the great thing about the calibration of the system is that it keeps an eye on the deviation of your probe. So the probes are calibrated because they put out a voltage, and the voltage varies from the expected point to what it is. So if it's less than 10 millivolts, then we consider that a green probe, which means it's good. Yep. If it's between 20 and 10, we consider that a yellow probe, which means the deviation is getting a little bit too much, and you should start thinking about it, switching the probe. If the deviation is more than 20 millivolts, then the probe is way too off, and it's probably not going to give you a reliable reading. And it says it on the color of the calibration. So, you know, it's a great way of keeping track of your probe and making sure that it is working correctly.
And it's a really good quality probe. It's a good quality probe.
Yeah. We decided to go with Pinpoint because that's the probe of choice. You know, I think everybody feels safe. All right, D. Question number 2. Name 2 of the 3 HYDROS devices that are currently available on the market. So there's 3 current devices available on the market. Give me 2.
Oh, definitely the leak sensor, which is like
look at Sean.
What?
No, I'm talking about we're talking about the big units, the complete set. You know,
the HYDROS 4.
Okay.
The HYDROS 2.
Yes, there you go. And then we also have one more.
Ooh, the
The one that makes the
Want me to step in?
And the
Call a friend, call a
the one
friend.
that does pumps, the one that controls the pumps. Jesus Christ.
Yes, so I'll give it to you, the wave
The
engine.
wave engine.
right.
I got it. I got the wave.
All right.
I'm not
And the
calling a
last,
friend though.
and the last question is
Call me,
it's a
D. Call me.
the last question is I called it the confidence booster. It's a true or false. Okay. All right, D. Is
Oh.
HYDROS is assembled in the USA. Is that true or false?
That's true.
That's true.
That is true.
That's
Okay,
true.
guys.
I
Want to
was
make sure
looking
that
at
everybody transparency. It's assembled in the USA. I don't think you can find anything that is built or manufactured in the USA only. It's just literally impossible nowadays. You know.
And you can
Oh,
tell
yeah,
in the build.
You can tell,
You
yeah,
can tell.
like the
Yeah,
quality.
in the build quality.
Yep.
Because you get something made overseas, the minute you take it out the box, you're hitting it, it feels hollow. This thing feels like you can hit a burglar with
Right?
it, and he's going to go down.
Yeah.
True.
No, I mean it's like
And the fact that
And
it's water, it's waterproof. I mean, it's safe around the water. Not
it's
waterproof.
splash proof. Yeah, it's
It's
splash
splash
proof. Yeah,
proof.
splash proof. Yes. All right. So now, what is a question for three of you guys because
Yep.
you had the HYDROS in there. What is your favorite feature on the HYDROS control system? What is it that you like the most about the HYDROS control system?
I like the alarms because it scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, they were good.
I mean, the alarms are one thing, but if you're not home, when that light starts flashing, whoever's in your house is going to be like, hey, your tank's flashing over here. So they definitely know when something goes off.
That's
Yeah.
cool. It's great. That's great. It's
But
great.
even that, you've got the remote notifications, you've got the text,
Yep.
you've got the email, you've got all that stuff. So even if you're not there and nobody's there, you're still going to get it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it works well. Like when you get your email or a text notification.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that caught me
No.
off guard one day. Like, what is this?
And the great thing about the email notification and the text notification is coming from the same number.
Yeah, it is.
Hmm.
Yep.
Same exact number. So you can add that to your contacts list as HYDROS, controller, and then, you'll see it right away. Even if you glance, if you're glancing at something because you're doing something else, you glance at, oh crap, I better look at this one instead of just some kind of email phone number that you don't recognize.
And you
So
have to set it up because I had mine like 15. It like texted me like 15 times. I'm like, what is going on? Because there's a feature on there for that.
yes,
Mhm.
yes.
I'm
yes.
like, Sean, I'm getting text and emailed like 15 times. What's going on here?
yeah. Now, another question about the HYDROS. There's some confusion about the 0 to 10 volt port. Has any of you installed this, or does anybody know? Have anybody do it? Sean, I mean, I think you're the one that probably would know about this. Or
So
maybe
I
you
have,
don't?
yeah, I've got the cable. I played with it for all of about 15 seconds on my skimmer, and then I was like, wait, it's a skimmer. Why am I doing this? And I took it off. So I haven't done that yet. I'm actually going to reach out to Harry here pretty soon. I'm finally to the point where I'm about to do my controller cabinet and everything, and I'm going to get him to do me a breakout box, and then I'm really going to get into that stuff.
Yeah, he's got them available already, so you can hit up his website, Harry Singer, and then check out his website. And I know there's a couple of other people coming out with I know Jeff Bernadette has something coming up soon, but he's just finalizing it right now. So sorry, Jeff, if I let the cat out of the bag, but he's trying to help here. But yeah, 0 to 10 is incredibly easy to do, and it's very versatile. One output can give you multiple settings instead of having to connect one wire for each button. So that's what the thing about the great thing about it is with Harry's box. I have one of them right here, and I only have one 0 to 10 volt input into the box and then 4 buttons. So on one input, I can do 4 different actions, which is something that other controllers don't have.
True.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier. All right, Sean. I mean, so it's time for your trivia questions.
Now it's
So
going to make
we
me
are-
look bad.
we are going to pair you with Victoria Brewer. Victoria Brewer is our next contestant. So if Victoria, you're here, you have about a minute to say hello and let us know that you're here, because Sean is going to need help. And otherwise we will move on to the next person. So let's talk about more in here.
Well, Carlos, I didn't get to answer what I liked best about it.
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The problem is that I can't pick anything. I love it in its entirety. I mean, there were a few issues when I first got it, but those got fixed with the update. So luckily, these guys didn't have to deal with the stuff that I did where I was having a bunch of user error there. It's so much simpler to use now. You don't have the power bricks. There's no coding. I mean, the presets are there to help walk you through everything. You're not going through 10 screens to do stuff. It's absolutely amazing how simple and intuitive it is to use. So really, I can't say what I like best because I love it all.
Now, let's talk about that. The things, the issues that were going on. Let's be honest, guys. It's like a company that's going to tell you that you're never going to have an issue. They're lying to you. I mean, they're downright lying to you. If a company tells me, oh, you never have issues, I usually go to the next company because it's just not right. So, were the issues bad? Did we fix them right away?
I mean, the stuff that I had was just with the older firmware that was on the system, the software that was on the system there. When connecting the Wi-Fi power strips, it just didn't have enough to let you know that you had to set the triggers and stuff and the presets and everything in order to turn the socket on. So I fought that for probably 2 hours, and now it's real simple and fixed.
And now in the app, we actually went ahead and fixed that, so you can actually tap on the outlet right there and configure the outlet right from the power strip, which is something that we were not thinking about. It's one of those things that you sit in here and we look at it and it's like, oh, we forgot that one, or oh, you know what, we should have added that, and we go ahead and add it and push it on the next update. So we try to be pretty quick about fixing things, and that's the name of the game. We find bugs or we find features that people want, and then we push them out.
Yep.
Okay. All right, Victoria, you are here. So Sean, you have 3 questions. If you answer 2 of the questions, Victoria wins a HYDROS t-shirt. So here's the first question.
I feel like I'm about to be unfollowed.
Hit him with the hard one.
Okay. Name 3 of the physical ports on the Control 4. The actual physical ports. Give me 3 out of the 5 possible ones.
Like, are you talking sense, drive, and probe?
There you go. That's it. Easy.
You gave him an easy one.
So now, just as a bonus question, Sean, can you tell me what the 3 of them are? So we have sense. What is the sense 4 port?
So the sense ports for all of your sensors that you put on, the leak detectors, the optical sensors, that stuff.
Okay, that's good. And the drive ports are for small pumps, 12 volts, and then the probes are for your ORP and pH, and they're both the same. That's fantastic. All right, that's 1 out of 3. How many Wi-Fi devices does the HYDROS a single HYDROS device support?
Well, I mean, I used to believe it was indefinite, but if memory serves me correct, I mean, I really want to say like 40, but I know that's not true.
I think there's a Beatles song with that number, a very old Beatles song, kind of that number. But you can always you can always call out and get your help if you want to dial in somebody, or if you just want to call Victoria and see if she knows the answer.
I mean, I'm waiting to see if she puts it in here, really.
Yeah. So Victoria, we need your help.
There we go. So Mark actually got it, but it's 8.
I knew that one, Mark.
I wish it was more, though.
Well, you know what? We're working on stuff. Okay, now the next one. What is IP65 rated, and how does it apply to the HYDROS?
Well, with that one, let's see. Well, we can go back into the old days. People used to cycle their tanks by urinating in them just to get the ammonia and everything. So basically, if you splashed a little bit on it, it's not going to hurt it.
I thought it was clams. If you had clams, you did that.
Don't self-siphon, that's for sure.
Yeah, so IP65 rated is splash and dust proof. That is fantastic. So yes, so Sean, you got all 3 right. That means that Victoria gets a HYDROS shirt. So this is awesome, guys. We're making our way down in here. So let's talk about accessories now. In general, hobbyists are interested in controllers because they want to add fail-safes into their systems. What is it that you're most worried about in your aquarium? What is it that keeps you, as they say, what is it that keeps you awake at night?
For me, it's the heater. You know, you see all the horror stories about heaters just failing and nuking tanks, and that was my big concern. Yeah, I don't have a big enough ATO reservoir, so I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You know?
And how did you mitigate that problem? What did you do?
So I'm actually using my HYDROS with a BRS heater system there. So it's got the controller on it. So I've got its thermostat as well as the thermostat from the Control 4 there.
Okay, good. Yes, yeah. So that's what we tell everybody. And you know what? This is something that it's all across. It doesn't matter what brand of controller you got. It doesn't make a difference. There is no controller that is equipped to handle this by itself. It's got to be a two-partner thing. And what you do is you buy a heater with its own thermostat, and you make that thermostat as high as possible. Let's say 82 degrees. And then you plug it in. And then you set your HYDROS control to turn the heater on and off, because the heater going on and off by powering it on, it's not going to cause the heater, most likely it's not going to cause the heater to fail. Most of the failure is done through the arcing on that internal thermostat on the heater. After so many opens and closes, it ceases as open or close, and that's when you have a heater that is stuck in on or a heater that is stuck in off. So the least amount of times you trigger that arc, the more reliable it will be when you need it. So that's where you have the HYDROS do your day-to-day operations of the heater, and then the thermostat of the heater, which is never used or seldomly used, that's your backup. That's the correct way of doing it.
Okay.
All right, and that's for any heater. That's what we want. How about you, Ryan? What is it that keeps you awake at night?
Same thing. Heat. The heater for sure.
Heat. Okay.
Yep.
Same thing.
Yeah.
What about you, Dee?
My biggest concern is because we had it more than once in the past. If you lose power, for whatever reason, like my kids are plugging something in and it trips a breaker and it comes back on and I lose all my settings, like that could be a nightmare, because who actually keeps a note of the settings for each tank? Like, what's your light schedule? What are your parameters for your pH on this tank? What are the like? You have to go back and try to figure all that stuff out. And that keeps me up at night, especially if you're not home.
And with the HYDROS, it's cloud-based as well, right? So if you did lose your information, you can re-download it back again, right?
Yeah, it downloads it right back again. And also we have something called versioning.
Yeah.
Which is, most people know it as your Windows thing. It's like restore your Windows machine to a previous state 2-3 days ago from now, when the virus wasn't on it wasn't on the computer.
That's handy.
So we have the same thing. You can actually log into your HYDROS cloud, select an old backup to 2-3 days ago before things went awry, and then restore that backup, and it restores everything to the way it was at that time.
Yep.
So we call it versioning, which is great. I think for me, it's leaks. The leak are the big thing. It's one of those things, especially, I'm lucky, we have a house in here, but in my earlier days, we lived in an apartment, and while we tried to do the ground floor because we had a fish tank, sometimes you can't, and you got to get somebody below you, and the last thing you want to do is have a leak, because you don't want the landlord calling you because the neighbor downstairs is watching TV with an umbrella.
I actually had that in my apartment.
Did you?
When I was in the apartment, I actually had that, because who knew about leak detectors 20 years ago? And it was like, I thought it was the tank, and it turned out to be a protein skimmer. But whatever the case may be, if you have a sensor, you can actually identify where the leak is coming from, rather than running across your floor.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I was gonna say, like, the leak rope detection is handy, because like you can plug them together. I went all the way around my sump, so there's no area that doesn't have the leak sensor there.
Yeah.
So, and you can just plug and play. You just plug them into each other, and you can just keep going around.
Yeah, and I think one of the for me, and I remember this on my younger years, is I've been lucky, knock on wood, I've never had issues with my main tank leaking. But I have had issues where I forget my RODI unit,
right?
The container starts overflowing. So having that rope and then just tying it around the container and tight, that would do it, because water is not going to splash out. Water is going to trickle and stick to the container and then just go down the side. That's what water is going to do. So it'll detect it right away. You don't even have to put it on the ground. You can just put it around the container.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. And as a bonus, you guys sent the little clips as well, so you can place because I want to keep that really nice and clean look. You know?
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Wiring trick here, guys. Wiring trick. Go get those little U-clips and use them for your wires for organizing stuff. It doesn't have to just be for the rope leak detector.
Oh, it's true. I use them all the time.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Huh.
Yeah.
You know, see, Sean, you're going to be invited to the workshop right now with Ryan, how to cable management made easy.
Exactly.
You know?
But I mean, if we're going to do that, we got to get Cindy on, because Cindy is the wiring pro.
Oh, she is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Hey, there you go. Hey, that's the next show right there.
Yeah.
All right. Any accessories that you guys have your eyes on, like that you don't have, but you want?
Where do I start that list? I mean, you got the auto water changers, you got the battery backups, you've got the wired outlets like everybody's asking for. I mean, there's so many things.
Yeah. We do have a long list of things, and we got a long list of things that are not out there. Actually, technically, this tank is full of that equipment that is not out yet.
Oh, really?
That is you're gonna be pretty pleased once we start coming out with the stuff that is in the pipeline. All right. Are there any products or accessories that are not in the HYDROS line that you want, that you really, really want? This is your chance, guys. You know, what is it that you got? Because David, the owner of CoralView, is watching. So this is your time. Make your case. May I please the court?
Can I say one thing? Maybe you're working on it, maybe you don't. But because I have so many different types of LEDs running different tanks, I don't know if you guys work on a HYDROS dimmer, like a device like what would it be, a power control module type of thing? Because I have so many different light fixtures, and once you get into wireless, I'm just like going through my whole house, like I can put a HYDROS on this one, HYDROS on that one, but like a variable output type of control.
So it's almost like a little 0 to 10 volt control. That's what it is. I mean, it all depends on what you have.
Because that's
it all depends on the light manufacturer if they allow that to happen. Because I mean, some manufacturers don't want you to do that, and they have their controllers in a way that you can't do anything with them. I mean, we unfortunately, that is kind of like the way the hobby is going nowadays. I don't know why we're going that way. So HYDROS, we wanted to go the opposite way and be more friendly. You know, so we're happy to do it, Dee. And if there's manufacturers out there that want to help us out, that's great. Actually, I just have I was working on a Kessel cable so that we can dim, you can control the Kessels and control the blue in the intensity. And, we may just do it as a do-it-yourself project on the HYDROS forum. I mean, it's like $15 worth of parts from Amazon. That's all you need. Right. And the HYDROS can do it.
I know one accessory that Ryan and I are really, really excited for. It's the most expensive accessory that you can get for this. The Mastertronic.
Yeah. We need that Mastertronic.
It was coming. It was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You know what? And that's going to be an easier one, because the Alcatronic is already wirelessly paired to the HYDROS. So we're hoping that we're Focustronic, when they actually add that to their API and their server, so that we can tap into those results as well. So that's going to be nice. That would be very nice. That would be very, very nice, and we're gonna try to do that and make it work the right way. All right, Ryan, we have the final contestant here, and you're gonna be paired with one of our viewers, and Josh Cunningham. Josh Cunningham, you are the next viewer that will be paired with one of our guests here, Ryan Nash. And if Ryan answers 2 out of the 3 questions correctly, you win a shirt. So you have 1 minute to say hello and let us know that you are present. Otherwise, we move on to the next person. That is awesome. Okay. And then, guys, let's talk about your channel. What days is it? When is it? How do we find out about it? People want to know.
Okay, so right now we're doing Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sorry, not 7 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not if I could get that one right. I'm used to 7 my time.
Your time. Us
I'm mountain.
Canadians. Yeah.
We're 9 o'clock on the East Coast.
Yeah.
All right, and where do we sign up for it? How do we what is there a YouTube channel? How do we do this?
So right now we actually have it split between Dee from Brooklyn's channel. Ryan's got it on Farm Boy Reef on YouTube, and we also stream it in the group on Farm Boy Reef on Facebook there. We're in negotiations, so in transitioning some of this stuff. So
Yeah.
we're just trying to work it out. Every stream we do, it's something new, something's added, we've changed something, we've tweaked something. We're always trying to make it the best experience possible for our viewers. So we take all the suggestions that people give us and we try to implement them the best that we can, just so that we can make it better. Because this isn't for us. This isn't about us. This is us giving up our time and everything to try and help people out, to actually spread the love. There's so much negativity in the world. We just want to help people.
Exactly.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you guys cover all sorts of things. You covered reef tanks, equipment. Do you cover other subjects as well?
Yeah, we pretty much done everything, right? We did controllers, right? We just did dynos.
I'm slowly cheating them into a little bit of freshwater on the side. I'm like a sleeper cell.
Yeah.
Only because there's so much equipment that we utilize for the saltwater side. But as you can see, I'm utilizing it for freshwater, and definitely has its application. I mean, planted tanks use CO2. We use pH. I have some really rare killifish that require a low pH. So this is one of the reasons I wanted to put the controller on there. So we cover any and all aspects aquatic.
Yeah, exactly.
So Saturdays at 9 p.m.
9 p.m.
Eastern time.
Yep.
Eastern time. Okay, that's awesome. And it's called the
Reefing Collective.
The Reefing Collective. Now, and it's just because of the three of you guys. Is it? Is it Star Trek? Is it Star Trek? Yeah, Star Trek.
Collective.
Yeah.
No.
We're
Not sci-fi.
I'm a geek. Geek and proud.
We also have our own collective here, which is, once we release more devices, and you'll be able to create that collective. And just like anything in any other collective, 3 brains are better than 1.
Yeah,
3 brains are better than 2. And that's what we wanted to do. All right. Okay, so last call for Josh Cunningham. Cunningham, you have about 20 seconds to say hello here. Otherwise, we will move on to the next person. All right? So otherwise, Ryan's going to have to answer this by himself. No, just kidding. We'll find somebody else to help you out.
Ryan's about to go postal.
Gonna Hulk out over here.
Well, while we give Ryan, we give Josh a little bit of time. Let's say hello. I'm going to say hello to Dominic. I'm going to say hello to Cindy, Mermaid's Reef. We have Ricardo. Hey, Ricky, buddy, how are you? Chaz in here. And then, do you guys see any of your regulars here? Feel free to say hello to them, man. Come on.
Cindy's in here stalking us.
Yeah. Mermaid's Reef.
We got Peace Loving Fish. Yeah, that's Dan. That's one of my friends. He's always there with us.
James Silva's here.
That's on there. That's great. I have Ancient Reef, Ancient City, and then Farm Frags.
Farm Frags.
David Mai was in here.
Duke Squirrels, James Silva.
Well, and of course Cindy. We got the good old Coral Gal. She's here watching. And
there's Anthony. Anthony's here.
So we want to say hello. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Again, if you like the channel, if you like what we're doing here, different things, let's go. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button or the little bell, and you'll be notified immediately when we go live. At the same time, if you like Ryan, Nash, and Sean and Dee, please subscribe to their channel. They're here every Saturday. They take time out of their busy schedules to put out content that helps everybody else. So that's awesome. That's the kind of people we got. And again, you guys, for those viewers, they don't work for any stores. They don't work for Coral View. They don't work for anybody. They're literally, they're hobbyists. They love what they're doing. They want to share the knowledge. So you're going to get pretty much the straight answer and the honest answer here, because at the end of the day, that's what we need.
Exactly.
All right. All right, so they came here to our channel because they like the hydros, not because we're, we told them or you have to come or anything like that. It was, we asked them and they said, hey guys, what do you think coming up to our channel and talking about the hydros? And trust me, I'm sure if there were problems here, they would have told us.
Believe it. My integrity cannot be bought. So honestly, promise.
That's for sure.
All right, so the next player is Eric Lesage. Eric Lesage. So Eric Lesage, you are going to be partnered with Ryan here. So you have a few minutes to let us know that you are here, and then we'll continue with the questions. We have 3 more questions in here, and so guys, your channel, you talk about you talk about controllers, you talk about all controllers, you have different guests, coming in and doing and showing and sharing the knowledge and all that. How long have you been doing this channel for?
How long's it been now, guys?
What are we, almost 3 months now?
Yeah.
I think it's almost 3 months.
And we haven't missed a Saturday yet.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Even when we're running to the finish line.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's true. You got to stop getting pulled over, Sean. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Can't help it.
Sean's dedicated. He's so dedicated. He got a ticket trying to get to the show.
Yeah.
No, you docked the ticket, right?
Oh, we've been corrected. 4 months.
4 months?
4 months?
Yep.
4 months,
Okay.
yeah.
Before
Okay. So I'm at 16 shows. I mean that it takes, one of the hardest things I think anybody would tell, because we had guests in here that have 200 shows or something like that without missing them, and that's incredibly difficult to do.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
Well,
especially when you have. Go ahead, Sean. I mean, Ryan.
Well, especially right now with COVID and stuff, makes it really easy. Nowhere to go on a Saturday night anymore.
Yeah, with being an NBA executive, I think the biggest problem that a lot of people tend to have is coming up with content ideas. What are we going to talk about? But luckily, we're in an industry that's ever evolving. There's always new scientific research that's coming out so that we can maintain our tanks better. There's new products that are coming out so we can look at different ways of doing the same stuff that we've been doing for years. Yep. It's amazing. And luckily, a lot of the industry leaders in a lot of the different areas have been more than happy to come on and help us explain their lines, their products, future innovations, what they're planning on doing. It's been amazing. And we have gotten some overwhelming support. And I love every minute of it, and I'm thankful for it too.
Yeah, exactly.
And because we have the 3 different points of view, we're always playing off of each other. Like, what do you think about this? Or, I don't think that's a good idea. Or this is good. Like we actually talk all week.
Yeah, every day. There's not one day we don't communicate.
That's awesome. I know. I got a phone call one time from Dee. It's like, hey, can you join on this Zoom call?
Yeah.
And I thought it was just Dee, and next thing I come in, it's like the 3 of them are talking. I'm like, okay.
Exactly.
That was the time that Dee had the problem with the router wasn't helping him out.
And then I felt like a dumb old man that fell off a wheel.
and the other thing too, we're doing our live streams and stuff. We're not doing the shows anymore, so this still helps bring the community together.
Yes,
and chat with everybody. Like, I love chatting reef tanks all the time. What better way to do it?
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I tell tell the viewers here at CVtv is that if there's a silver lining that has come out of this pandemic is the fact that we don't just see each other once or twice a year or 3 times a year maybe when we do a trade show, but we see each other right now. I mean, literally what we're doing right now, guys, everybody viewer, is this is what we do at trade shows when the trade show is over and all the attendants leave and it's only the people that in the industry, and we just go to a bar, sit on a table, grab a few beers, and literally do this. So it's a little insight into what happens on a regular basis at the trade show, and that's the fun thing about the trade shows.
I can't wait for it. I have only been to 1 show in the whole time that I've been in, and that was Reef Stock in Denver. Was it? Yeah. So I haven't been to any of the big shows, so I'm really excited for COVID to go away so that I can actually go and do that.
Reefapaloozas are fun. They're fun.
Reefapalooza. I think what was it, like 4 years ago, Ryan?
Yeah, that's where we first met. I met Dee 4 years ago.
And it's funny because who would ever think that somebody from Canada, somebody from New York, somebody from the West Coast, would be talking so much like we're right in the same place. So
exactly.
Like
You gotta love the internet for that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so I think Eric is here. So
Eric is here.
if you are still here, you're here. We're gonna go ahead and ask the question. So again, Ryan, I'm gonna ask you 3 questions,
Yep.
and if you get 2 of the questions correctly, you win. Eric wins a HYDROS T-shirt. Now, if you don't know the question, you can ask Eric, and Eric will kind of chime in and help you out. So here
All
we
right,
go.
Eric. Come on, Eric.
All right,
Let's
so
get ready.
how do you connect the Alcatronic to the HYDROS control?
Alcatron, BNS.
Okay,
the
that
wireless and wireless.
Yes. Technically, you both are right.
They are.
Freshwater.
Both are right.
Yeah, I know, but it still has both though.
Really, Sean?
You should have said that one to me. Ryan has an Alcatronic, but it's on his reef tank.
Yeah, but it has both. You can do both though.
Yes, you can do both,
Yes,
but
I can.
but then again, is if you only have the Control 4 has 2 probes
Yes,
in it,
I know.
so you don't want to give up that probe for
Yep.
something that you can do wirelessly. Plus there are certain things that you can get that you gain wirelessly that you don't gain with the probe,
Right.
and
right.
that is the time the tests are taken. So the great thing about this is that you can actually set a stale time on the Alcatronic. So if your HYDROS gets a reading from the Alcatronic today at 9 o'clock in the morning,
Okay.
and then you have it set to test every 4 hours. So at 1 o'clock p.m. it has to test again. But let's say it's 4 o'clock p.m. and the HYDROS sees that the last test you got is 9 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
So then it's going to send you an alarm and says, hey, there's something wrong here. Most likely it's because the Alcatronic ran out of reagent, so it doesn't test. Or maybe the Alcatronic got the Bluetooth. If you don't turn off the Bluetooth on your phone after you're using it, then it doesn't connect to the internet. So those are the things that you don't get with the BNC connection. You can't get that, but you get it with the wireless.
Okay.
So cool. All right. So that's one question. Let's see. Name the 2 available leak detectors on the HYDROS line.
2 available. I was just looking at those. Well, we got the rope.
Okay.
Rope, and then we have the standalone module one.
The little one, yes.
I just don't know the name of the thing.
Yeah, no, we call it the single leak detector.
Single leak. Yeah, single leak.
Yes.
Yep.
The rope is a conductive plastic.
Yep.
And the single leak detector, which most people don't know, is actually, it can detect RODI water.
Nice.
Yes. Yes. So most of the leak detectors out there cannot detect pure water because there's nothing to conduct. But the leak detector, the single leak detector that we have, actually, if you put RODI water in it, it will trigger, which is something that doesn't happen with other leak detectors out there.
Good to know.
Very interesting.
Very-
I didn't
yeah, I
know
know,
that.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Okay, so that's 2 questions.
That's 2.
All right. Name the 3 notification levels available on the HYDROS app.
Levels. pH. No.
Nope.
Levels.
Can you repeat?
I know
Level.
this.
Like, you remember we based them on the TSA airport thing because it's the most intuitive thing. So there's 3 notification levels. There is the lowest level, then there's the medium, and then there's the high level that will pretty much sound the alarm. All right, and we did them using something simple. So let's see. Maybe Eric can come
Eric,
in.
you
and
want to get on this one, Eric?
There you go. You got a hint. You got a hint.
You got to hit it. Okay, so
You got another hint.
Farm Frags is on the right track right here. It's based on color.
Color.
Yes. So anybody want to chime in there and let us know what the notification levels are? It's based on colors.
Let's
You're getting it.
Let's see if they can get it.
You got it.
Yellow, orange, and red.
Somebody just threw it up. There you go.
Yellow, orange, and red. Yeah, so yellow means you get an email by
Very
default.
nice, Cindy.
Orange
Very nice,
means
Cindy.
Warning.
Orange means the warning is going to be an email or a text message, and red means email, text message, and sounding a local alarm. Now, you are able to change this however you want.
Yep.
So if you want orange to be the alarm instead of the text message and so forth, you can change it. But by default, we wanted to make it simple. Instead, so you everybody knows what a TSA or the airport is, notifications, and everybody knows that yellow is the lowest alarm, orange and red. So we didn't have to explain it to them, and that just makes it easier for implied knowledge.
Yep.
All right. Good, 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 good. So that is it, Eric. You have won a HYDROS shirt. And again, the winners, you can contact April, our producer, and then she'll get your information, and then we will mail you the HYDROS shirts. So we wanted to make it simple, guys. I mean, I know, some people give out their big prices and all that, and they make you fill up a forms, but we wanted to make something different, have a little fun with you guys in here, asking some questions.
Yeah,
and then
fun.
yeah, we love having you here. It's so much fun, and like you said, Dee, it's having the 3 different point of views is it's gold.
3 different personalities.
There is that.
Look, Larry, Daryl, and Daryl.
Yeah.
Is that before your time?
So I do have a good question though. So everybody wants that shirt. Every live I see, everybody's like, "Oh my God, where do you get that shirt? How do I get it? Where do I want it? How do you get that shirt? Because I want it."
You know what? So what we're gonna do is, since you have a direct line to the owner of the company, David, right here, he's watching, so let him know. Should we put it on the website and let people buy it?
David, if you don't put it up on the website, I'm coming down to Louisiana and we're gonna have a conversation.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see if we can put it on the website and then have everybody have a chance to order the shirts. I mean, it's kind of a cool shirt.
Sure.
Yeah, it's
everybody wants to look buff like you, Carlos. Come on.
Yeah.
No, Ryan, I want to see Ryan on that shirt.
And the thing is, on the back though, it needs to say "Take Control."
Oh, yeah. You better patent that, Sean.
Yeah, there you go.
I just did. I got intellectual property rights. The show proves.
Intellectual property.
So one thing that Dave and I have been part of your show, and it's a lot of fun being part of your show. And the one thing that I miss about your show is the backgrounds. So I know Dee has got like a little shrimp in there, and it says Dee from Book Cleanse and all that. But I miss seeing the little action figures and the Captain America. Come on, man! It's like
I'm gonna bring it
back. Look forward to that, man.
I'm definitely a collector by heart, so I got some new figures. I'm gonna switch it out now that you guys are looking and know that I got some new ones I'm gonna throw up there. So stay tuned.
That's awesome. And at Ryan, Hulk's Reef and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Where that from? You a fan of just a fan of comic books and stuff?
Yes, sure am. And I'm obsessed with that green color. It's one of my favorite cars. My car is that color. I drive a Challenger, same color. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So when I was thinking about today's show, I was under the impression that you guys were going to have all your figures in there, and I was kind of feeling left out. So I was like, what action figure do I get to put in here to kind of keep up with you guys? And I don't really have action figures because that's not something I do.
Right.
But I love music. I'm a big music fan. So I did come up with my little action figure.
Oh, look at that.
And it's my little Prince Purple Rain action figure right here.
That's awesome.
It's young Carlos.
or as Dee says, young Carlos with hair.
My Hulk is right here, but he matches the green screen. You can't see it.
Yeah. So you can't see it. I know you said that. So guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being such sports, and thank you so much for taking the chance on the HYDROS controller. We appreciate it. I know there's a lot of well, I can't say there's a lot of competition out there, but it's challenging, and it's a leap of faith to take a new product out there and trust it with your baby. We're hobbyists, just like we like our cars or our houses or whatever it is. To us, this is my car, this is my shop, the same thing. So to trust it with something that is so new, we really appreciate that, and we hope that the product is keeping up with the expectations, and and the problems that we've had are small enough that that don't make you think twice about your decision.
Yep.
We really appreciate the fact that you've done that, and we like that you came on our channel and told us about it, and be honest about it, which is what we wanted. I don't want somebody to come in here and just say everything is hunky-dory and everything is great, and then text me 2 days later and nothing is working. It's not something we want to do. I mean, so appreciate that, guys.
Well,
again, everybody, thank you guys for coming, Sean, then Ryan and Dee. We appreciate it. Again, if you like their show, or if you don't know about their show, they have a show. It's called The Collective. All right. And you can watch it every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. All right. And they talk about different subjects. They talk about what they know. They have 3 different points of view, which is amazing. And they bring guests from the industry. So they're kind of like, you guys are like the new and up and coming channel too, in a way. You're fairly just 4 months old, and then you're making some noise out there, which is awesome.
We definitely have had some overwhelming support. It has been amazing.
Yeah, we greatly appreciate everyone that takes the time of watching us.
And we do we really pay attention to those questions and concerns when people post them on the forums, and we bring them up as topics, and we try our best to answer them as truthfully and transparently as we can.
Exactly.
That is great. And the one thing that when Dave and I were at your channel, we appreciated that. It was when we first came out, and you guys were even and not jumping on anybody bandwagon. I mean, we appreciate the fact that you guys you didn't pile on us, but at the same time you were open to having to just looking at it. It's like, what it's kind of like the same thing. It's like, ask somebody, it's like, do you like sushi? And say no. Well, have you ever had it? No. Well, then how do you know you don't like it?
Exactly.
A big thing with us is we like to give everybody their spot. We have our own personal opinions. We've got our own personal bias, our own beliefs as far as different products and methods and stuff like that go, which helps us with getting that stuff out there and addressing a lot of those concerns. But really, when it comes to somebody coming on to our show, if you're going to take the time out of your day when you're, helping the operations of a huge company, if you're going to take that time and come on here, you deserve our respect and our time to not be doing that stuff and to give you your chance to say what you need to say and get it out there.
Well, exactly.
And
plus, our viewers, we want them, to be educated and learn all these new products that are coming out, and they can make up their mind what they want to do. Price point, quality build, anything, just to help them get educated is my biggest part of all this.
And we really work hard with the people that we have on the show. Some of them aren't technologically as far as like social media, and we help them just the way, we would help anybody else, and try to promote the little guy and the big guy just the same, because, at the end of the day, it's all about the hobby.
Yep.
Yes. And at the end of the day, it's that's one thing that we here at CoralView are huge on. It's like, everybody that works at CoralView is a hobbyist.
Right.
Even the engineers that work on HYDROS day in and day out, they are hobbyists too. So it's not like we're just giving somebody, a map. Here's what I need you to do, and they do exactly what we tell them. No, it's like, the engineers come over and come back and say, hey, what if we do this? It will make it easier on the person, or that's what it makes it so much more fun to work and to come up with a product that works for everybody, and that it's gotten really good reviews, and it's kind of a nice welcoming, which we appreciate. So
well, you can tell it was designed by hobbyists for sure, because just the way it functions, the build quality, everything's there. Like, you guys did a great job with this controller.
Thank you. The little things,
all the little things that count.
It's like that's the big difference between somebody that doesn't an engineer that is not a hobbyist and an engineer that's hobbyist. You notice it on the little things.
Exactly.
Hey, speaking of little things, can I mention a really little thing? I'm sorry, Ryan. Can I mention a really little thing that I really got excited about? The mounting bracket on the power strip. No one ever has a mounting bracket for their power strip, and I was like, boom, boom, boom. I didn't have to search for those little screws, and it snapped right in there. No one else thought of that in all these years. I love you for that.
Right? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, no, we had and that mounting bracket was designed by a hobbyist. You know, that we had it in there, and we went over several things. And then one of the hobbyists, one of the beta testers, that we sent out the product to them, and they're like, "Hey guys, you know, do you think I can come up with this? What do you think of this?" And we're like,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, just grab it and play and run with it. So you know, even the mountain bracket was created by a hobbyist. You
Yeah,
know,
it's built really well because I put it through its paces. Because if you see it in my pictures, how I hit even the power cord to it, so I really had to twist it to get it in there, and it held, and it was amazing.
Yeah, and we have a few things coming out that we're coming out the pipeline, coming out soon, that you guys are going to be pretty impressed with.
Okay.
You know, so I think you're going to be happy with it, and I think you're going to be like, wow, I can't believe you guys are doing this, and we really try to listen to people. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. I want to say thank you to our viewers. I want to say thank you to Battle OCR. I want to say thank you to Cindy, Henry, Mark Kinnery, Michael, you know, Schrader, Paul, anything. You know, we don't have any spoilers right now, not yet. But I want to say thank you again. If you like our show, please make sure you hit the subscribe button on the channel. We stream live on YouTube and Facebook, so be sure to join us. Hit that bell, hit that little like button, and you'll get that notification right away. At the same time, make sure that you head over to the collective and make sure that you hit that subscribe button for them and support their channels. They're doing amazing, and we have to support everybody here, and you know, get back to constructive online criticism.
That's right.
You know, I think it's one of the biggest things that we need to do, because you know, it's just the right thing to do.
Exactly.
All right.
Yep.
On behalf of Dave and Brandy, owners of Coral View, I want to say hello. I want to say thank you to April, our producer. I want to say thank you to Jeremy, our graphic designer. I want to say thank you to Wendy and everybody else helping out on the chat and being the moderators. And on behalf of Carlos, myself, and my little prince, Austin,
awesome.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Get the Lambo car, house in the hills with the stars. Told you I'd raise the bar, told you that I go far. Oh, baby, it's crystal clear. I'm not a souvenir. I'm not an accessory. I'm a necessity. So come and check me out now. I'm a necessity. So come and check me out now.